Are we good to go? Okay, we'll go ahead and call this Tuesday, November 4th, tentative agreement meeting to order. Let's go ahead. It's not on the agenda, but let's go ahead and stand for a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will move to 2.1, tentative agreement for the 2025-2026 teacher contract. All of us have had an opportunity to review. Would anyone like to have some discussion or ask questions or discuss this?
Okay. Would you like for me to go through some of the
Sure.
changes?
Yeah.
So, as bad as you made it sound, working with Lee and Casey was is kind of a enjoyable process minus the ECA pay schedule.
Yes.
So this comes with a salary increase of 2.25%. So that is changed in the contract. Another thing that we changed was there was never really a policy or an agreed upon amount for professional development time or summer professional development time. And sometimes it was by the hour, sometimes it was $20 an hour or $25 an hour, sometimes it was $100 a day, and it was 6 hours. And so we changed that to $30 an hour or $110 per day for summer PD, not during the school day PD. On the next page, page 5, under medical insurance, we added the plan 4, the 87% of the high deductible plan. The reason it's not 80% like everything else is the person that would be free insurance for the person who'd be paying more than should be, and they wouldn't be paying anything. Page 9. This was something I brought to negotiations. I thought this was important. The district in the past has given the teachers 1% of their salary towards retirement, and I just don't think that people think about that enough. And so we agreed that if we upped it 1%, we would up it 1% for the people who matched that 1%. So they'd be going from 1% to 3%. We already put 1% in. We'll put another % in for you if you match that 1%. And so that is a way to grow the retirement accounts for our teachers. This was a big one. We had a rough time with this this fall, right around fall break. Staff members taking a sick day prior to the start of a break or the end of a break must have a doctor's note. If it's a personal day, it's an unpaid day, and it must be approved by central office. And that's common throughout. I've never worked in a district that didn't have that rule. We added on page 12. We're short subs all the time. The teachers will have the opportunity to sub during their prep for $25. They can do it one time per day. What that creates is, let's say that all of us have first period prep, but only Lee and I volunteered to do this. So we need to sub for first period. Lee, do you want to do it? No, I can't today. Brent, do you want to do it? Brent's out today. Okay, you're the next person on the list. I need you to sub first period, even though it's not what you volunteered for. But you'll get your $25, and then you go to the bottom of the list. And the next time it'll be after us, it'd be you. And then after us, it would be you. And So that's kind of how it works. You just do the math. You do it on the spreadsheet.
Nightmare to keep track of.
It's not too bad once you lay them out by period. And then just the biggest time-consuming piece was the ECA piece, and basically after I don't know how many hours of talking about it and working on it, I took 7 school districts around us and printed off their ECA schedule and just broke them down by what they paid people and how they tiered them together. Everybody kind of had them tiered together either in a tier or by a percentile. This much of a first year teacher salary. And there was not really anybody who just had wishy-washy, just random things in here that some of them are hard to figure out why, or maybe it was a great idea in 1985 and things just have changed. And so we went through and tiered every position in classroom ECA, educational ECA, or athletic ECA, tiered them through. I think there were 18. I don't remember how many tiers there were. 16 tiers, and came up with that. And we are in the process of met with Carrie House today about creating the Google form to evaluate all of our ECA programs. So
that are sports.
all of them.
All ECA.
I'm going to work with Kerry so we can give it to the coaches. I'm just trying to get some input he has
I see. Okay,
for.
I thought he was going to do that.
No,
Okay.
just input he has
Gotcha.
for things to ask the coaches.
Sure. Okay.
Is there anything that I forgot there?
Just the amount maybe that we
The amount that we put into ECAs. This is not on the dot, but it's close. ECA increase of $30,000.
And that gets us in that ballpark of those 7 that you brought to look at.
It for sure does. I was expecting going into this that we weren't going to be able to get to where we got to. I thought we were going to have to increase it and then next year do another increase, but we did a pretty darn good job of it with the money we had available now. So, yeah, $30,000. It's right around $30,000.
The total's like 268,000, right? What total do you have?
Oh, for the ECA payouts.
Yeah,
But it's an increase of 30,000.
from last year, the last contract.
I don't know. I can tell you. I don't know if it's
Sorry, no, you don't
268. Yeah.
I have them up. I mean, it's close to.
How many employees
No worries.
are under the ECA that receive ECA monies?
didn't know, we didn't go through it.
Because of course you got some certifieds, you got non-certifieds, you got basically civilian, whatever.
Also, like the way that we looked at it in negotiations was even
I just
though-
didn't know if you knew off the top of your head.
even though it might not affect every teacher or all of our certified staff, it does in a way with as far as like wanting to have good programs. And so if we want good programs at our school, we want kids that are at our school, then we want to be able to pay the people that are doing the job. We want paid well, so we want other people that want
Right.
the program paid well. So that's sort of our thinking. But we know there's only so much available, so we wanted to split. We wanted to be able to give teachers a raise, but at the same time do something for retirement because we don't have anything extra. And then also try to give something to ECA. So we weren't able to give like kind of what I think everybody wanted to give to ECAs, but we were able to kind of divvy it up and give everybody something.
Well,
Can I just say that appreciate the ECA stuff, because this is something we have been talking about, I bet, for
A long
3
time.
years.
Yeah.
It needs to be looked at. We need to know. So I love the idea that you got the other schools. I love
good
that
work.
you
Yeah.
put it in tiers so that it can make more sense.
Amanda Miller gets some credit for that too.
And I
Awesome.
also.
Thank you, Amanda.
I don't think it's a finished document. I mean,
No.
you even put on there will be a committee, we'll
Mhm.
look at it, we'll go back and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But at least the Google form to say how many kids are involved, maybe, like you said, in the 80s, there was 200 kids involved, now there's 40. You know, I mean, all those things
Yeah, great
matter,
point.
and
Yeah.
how long seasons are, and how long, you know, all of that. So I just
Yeah.
think
It's good work.
we're at a much better place.
Yeah, another thing about the bargaining that I think helped is all along I've told them, you know, why would I not give you the best deal I can give you? You know, that's bad business. I feel like on our end, as long as it's a
Yeah,
financial.
you try to do a
Absolutely.
deal that
responsibility,
makes them happy and
financial
makes us
responsibility
happy.
here, but-
Yeah.
And when we would meet, my spreadsheet would just be open on the screen. They would see what I saw, the math right there in front of them, and I would try to tell them this is how much this would cost or that would cost, and that's kind of how we got to where we got to. So
Great.
it was
Transparency.
pretty easy.
Can I ask, like we have three that are more than the others. How do we come up with those numbers for those? Is it located from the athletic department?
It's from those other 7 schools. It's from, so you're talking about the increases?
Yeah, just the difference between, the three.
You're talking varsity girls basketball, varsity boys basketball, and varsity football.
In wrestling.
Oh.
No.
Just,
Those are the top
Okay,
three.
so in I would say the highest percentage of schools, the highest paid ECA person is the head football coach. And then if it's not just him by himself, then it's the head football coach and then the girls and boys basketball coaches. That's usually it. There's one district very close to here that their 2 highest paid positions are the band director and the wrestling coach.
It is interesting.
Yep. And I don't think they even have a football coach stipend listed on their ECA. I couldn't find it. So
Really?
Mhm.
That is interesting.
So that's just typically everywhere you look, that's what you see. Our football coach was making less than the basketball coaches, so his stipend went up to equal them. And our wrestling coach was kind of crazily low here versus everywhere else, and so he went up to that tier with almost the same raise that the football coach got. And that's kind of how we got.
My concern is we have all of these head sports or band or anything, but we got all these head coaches. And I would hate for them to look at those numbers and say, oh, wrestling's more important than softball. They think it's more important than softball because they pay him so much more.
Yep. So
I would hate for somebody to feel that way.
There was conversation about that with some other coaches, not related to wrestling.
And
more
wrestling or
related to-
basketball is more of a priority than
Mhm.
this one is. And, this sport or this, what kind of gate does band bring in? What kind of gate
That's
does,
why we're doing
Tiers.
yes.
Well, no, but I think that's why we're
Doing the
going
study.
in and doing the study
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
how many kids do you have, how long is the season?
Yeah. And that's
How long
that's
do
a
you play?
moving,
How many
flowing,
practices do you have? Yeah.
And I,
So
living
we know that it might
thing.
need to change. We're very aware that there are positions that are probably paid way too much and some probably paid way too little.
Sure.
But we had to start somewhere,
we
Yeah.
didn't want
Right.
somebody to take a pay cut.
and we didn't want anyone to take a pay cut.
Initially.
Yeah, I think in my
It's
head,
good work.
you have a head coach that says, I've been my teams have been this successful doing this. They've made it to this level in the tournaments.
Mhm.
And we have all this success. We have this future coming that we believe our success will continue.
That was something they needed to share.
And then
Mhm.
and them thinking that, and then they say, and you're paying this person so much more, and they have not done this or this in the past.
So
We're have such a better, more successful program than what they have, but they get paid more. And I just
Well,
don't.
again,
I just worry that
that's why the Google form, and that is why the committee, that is their job.
Well, and I took the 7 contracts. I took the 7
And
things
7
and then I gave them to them so they could discuss them in their discussions.
Yeah.
They, and so,
Oh, we could pay them just on their wins.
Ooh,
No,
ooh.
it's not about wins and losses when it
Hey,
comes to ECAs.
Basically, what you're saying
It's
is
about
this was
growing
kind
young
of
people.
a big phase one.
Yeah, we couldn't do, there was no way, and I
Yeah.
don't, and you're never gonna make everybody happy.
No.
either. Everybody loves the work that they're doing and are passionate about that thing.
Yeah.
So they always are going to think that somebody should be paid less or more than them, and so we can't go with that. That's why it has to be data, and that's why we have to put out the committee to say, who's doing what, how much time does it take, how many ball games are you sitting through, or matches
Yeah.
or meets? Because we might have a really winning team and they win sectionals, but they might only have 10 matches.
Great.
Well,
Whereas other places have, they're playing 40 ball games. I don't, so it's.
You gotta look.
there's a lot of these ECAs that I look at and go, that's all they're making, and now I see that we're giving them a raise, and I don't know what the value of that is, because I've coached for, whether it be here at school or AAU or whatever, I've coached for 5 years now. I've never gotten a single paycheck for it, but I know how much time it takes and how every evening is, for however many months, just with summer AAU from March till August, I'm every day.
Mhm.
Where am I going this evening? I'm going to watch one of my AAU girls play basketball at another school. But I appreciate how much time that these coaches, band directors, every Saturday from September through October, being at a different competition, losing their weekends. It's a hard enough time to find good coaches, anyways. And I appreciate them even wanting to come and apply to be that coach and spending the time with our young people, molding our young people, because some of these kids that you talk to that are now in college or even grown up and that played sports, Tom had a coach that he absolutely loved that helped make him who he was, and to go and give him the success he had to be able to go to the next level. Brent had coaches that he probably talks to still today that influenced him. So those coaches make a big impact on our students, just in their growth themselves.
Well, I
So
appreciate, I just appreciate the work and trust
Absolutely.
you guys to keep it going forward.
The thing
Absolutely.
that sort of makes me nervous about this Google thing is some coach is going to sit down and say, "Are you kidding? I'm making 25 cents an hour." I'm gonna give it a-
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know that you can answer this, and it may be more of what this is just more out of curiosity. There's an ECA under 8, tier 8, and it's titled. It's right above the archery coach. It's titled guidance counselor ECA. Do you know by chance what that is?
I don't.
Okay, I know it
it was
got an
explained to me.
increase.
There used to be two, there was a head guidance counselor there, Miss Yapman, I think. She was like the head of the two guidance counselors. That person was in charge of kind of we'll just say, dual credit, AP, reaching out to the public. So that person had more responsibility than the other guidance counselor. Not discounting what that other guidance counselor did, but it was just kind of the guidance counselor. So
what was their job title?
it was a stipend on top.
Yeah,
It was something that had.
I mean, isn't that your job?
I was surprised when I saw that, and, but it was an ECA.
It may be also that they spend extra time doing like the top 25 dinner and like those kinds of things that are outside of school time. So it may be in sync with graduation, like the programs and the stuff that goes along with graduation. That would be my guess.
So Michelle and Beth Bates for years. I mean,
Well,
because they did,
Beth and Andrea.
but I mean,
Yes,
the extras, the
extras.
the
And that was
Veterans Day thing.
No, see, that would be student council.
Okay,
This would be like what has to do with graduation.
but you're not wrong in asking that question.
I'm just curious.
I
about
think
that.
like
And
Penny-
did we have somebody in all those seats? We don't know that. per
There are
se.
some we don't have
Some we
somebody
don't
in.
have.
Okay.
but
Okay,
not very many.
okay.
There is somebody in that spot though.
In this study, is there gonna be, information gathering to see if some of these just go away because they haven't been filled, that job's not being done, that's part of your
Yep.
job description? Would help to go and maybe slim this down? Okay.
Say, we don't use that position, we don't need it anymore, or no one's had that for 2 years, we don't really need that, or, which we kind of did anyways, we did get rid of it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is great work. It just makes it so much cleaner because, there was what, probably 5 different band stipends that were out there.
Mhm.
This just really
Cleans it up.
Like you said,
Mhm.
this is something that can be bargained. This is a great starting point.
Mhm.
I mean, it's more than a starting point. There's been some phenomenal work there. It's just like anything, we polish more and more.
Absolutely.
And we were able to say everybody got some kind of a raise, almost every position did, so.
That's awesome.
Whether you're tier 1 or you're tier 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so stipends do not count against, do not go with base salary for teacher retirement, correct? And other, okay.
Yeah. That's part,
That's
not,
something that
those are not part of the certified salary.
have we always had the years, like the longevity?
We
Uh,
started
That was in the
No.
last
last
one.
contract.
Was it?
And it was like during the COVID thing and we were trying to
Mhm.
entice people to stay,
Retain.
retain, yeah, to retain them, yeah.
Mhm.
That was
That was the last
something that,
contract.
that's something that this board actually worked on. Gosh, since the time we were uptown, with Alice, maybe. That was something that we were always trying to, yeah, longevity piece. We were always trying to work that in to help reward the employees and the teachers that stayed with us and continue to stay with us, Offer what we can. I was glad to see when we finally did get that in the contract.
So will this be retroactive back to July 1st?
Yep.
Okay, all of it.
Yep, once it goes
Okay.
through next week, then
And then do we need to make an adjustment to every contract teacher that we have, like $50 extra to cover, so we get out of hawk with the Department of Education with our $45,000, we didn't hit our mark?
not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. We've spent our money over the new money on this, but I told them when we bargain again, just know that we have that letter and I've asked how to monitor that with the state, but I haven't gotten a response back yet, so I'll probably send them another email.
Back to July the 1st.
The only other thing I have is there was a time we were offering signing bonuses for hard to fill positions. That's something that we are still doing as a corporation.
And it's not something that's in the contract. It is something that you can do through the Title, I believe Title 2 or Title 4 grant.
Yeah, that was something
But it'd be something I would have to talk with the union about if we ever got to that point.
Yeah,
But right now we don't have that in the budget.
Diana, any more questions?
No.
Carrie?
No.
Penny? Tom? Okay, well, we can move on from the discussion part of this, part of the agenda. So everyone's had a chance to review. There's no further discussion. This is an action item, right? Or is this just a
No.
first reading item? Okay,
We don't vote
so
on it
no,
till the board meeting.
so no action. Information is given. It's tentative. They're continue to work on it and we will address it probably again Monday. Okay. Move on to 3.1. Public comments. The public is always invited to speak before the board. Please stand when recognized by the president and state your name. Comments should be addressed to the board and be limited to teacher contract concerns only. The public will be able to address the board later in this meeting on issues outside of the teacher contact later in this meeting. A time limit of 3 minutes will be given. If more than one person is represented for a group, only one spokesperson will be heard. Do we have any public comment? Okay, I will move on to 4.1. The next regular board meeting will be held on November 10th, 2025 at Alexander Monroe High School at 7 p.m. An executive session will be held at 6 p.m. prior to the regular meeting. An additional executive session will be held immediately after the regular board meeting if needed. Is there any further discussion? I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second it?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
With a thank you, Lee, for coming. Thank you, Maria.